What's up guys, it's boy Ethan, hope you're having a great day. I just recorded the outro for the last video and we're doing the intro here because we're playing the 7 o'clock tournament. It's a 7,500 guarantee, $160 buy-in, and if you haven't seen it, it hasn't been a good day. I played the 12 o'clock tournament at noon, so I got here at noon, it's 7 right now, and we're gonna play another tournament, and if we go well with it, we'll be here till midnight. So it's gonna be a long little session, multi-session, but it's a day for content, a day for us to pump up videos. So we're gonna go play, buy into that, starting right now. So let's go ahead and hop in. The very first hand that we get dealt in this tournament, when we sit down, we look down at pocket fives, and we're in the cutoff, so pretty nice. So the early position player raises things up to 300, and there are 4 callers altogether. So we're gonna go multi-way to this flop, in position at least. The flop comes 10-8-5, all hearts, so bottom set on a board that I am going to pump money in. The pre-flop raiser leads out for 800. The player to my right makes the call, and it's a very easy raise spot. Let's go for value, charge the max for heart draws and such. So I go ahead and raise things up to 4K. The pre-flop raiser folds, and only the player to my right makes the call. So we are going to a turn, heads up, in position. Turn is the 3 of hearts. Gross, absolutely disgusting. And he goes ahead and leads right out for 3,900. Not what I wanted to see, but we do still have some outs, and he did down bet, so given a pretty decent price to call, and hopefully we can pair the board here somehow. So I just call, throw in the 3,900, see what happens. The river is the 7 of spades, so we brick out on everything, and he jams. I just snap fold. It's like super annoying. Very first hand, our stack is pretty much crippled. And yeah, he shows the ace of hearts like always, like he always has it, like there's no way that I'm good. And we're sitting with 12K now. Next hand, still in level 1, we have ace-10 offsuit in the big blind, sitting at 11,000 chips. There's 3 limpers to me, and I'm gonna raise things up to 600, and all 3 players make the calls. So awesome, people are willing to play here, I guess. So we're gonna go to a flop, which comes ace-8-5, 2 diamonds out there. So we do flop top pair, and I think I'm just gonna have to pump it and go for it. The small blind player actually though leads out and leads for 900. Way too small for me, especially multi-way, not trying to price people in, and just definitely trying to ISO this player. So I go ahead and raise things up to 3K, and it folds all the way back to him, and he makes the call. So we are going to a turn. We're pretty short, like I said, we started with only 11K. So the turn is the 4 of spades. It's basically a brick, and I feel pretty confident with my pair of aces right now. So he checks, and I decided to just go for it. Let's just rip it in, see what happens. I go ahead and jam, and he doesn't think too long before making the fold. So we take that one down, and we're starting to chip back up a little bit at least. Nothing happens in this tournament until level 6. Yep, we didn't get dealt a single playable hand until level 6. We go from level 1 to level 6. Here we have pocket 8s on the button. The blinds are 300, 600, 600, and we're sitting with just under 12K in chips in front. So here there's a limper to the hijack player, who raises it up to 2K. The player to my right makes the call, and he's been running so hot. He has like 100K in front of him, something ridiculous, like 5x starting stack. And actions onto me. Rebuy is at the end of this level. I'm sitting with 12K, and there's 2 callers. There's 2 players committed to 2K right now. Pocket 8s, definitely perfect candidate to jam, see what happens. We can definitely rebuy after this, obviously, if we bust. So I go ahead and jam. It folds to the pre-flop raiser, who definitely makes the call. He's pretty confident with it. He calls, and the other player folds. So we show we're up against ace-queen of hearts, so we're in for a flip, and let's see what the breakout is. The flop comes 8-10-5, 2 diamonds out there, so we do flop middle set, and we're looking pretty good now. The turn rivers are 4 and a 10, so we boat up and we double up. So pretty good hand for us there. Didn't play hand for 5 levels until this one, and we chip up. All right, so we're on break number 1. Little mid-session, little break 1 update. It's hard to be worse than last video's break number 1. So we're sitting at 26K even right now after that little double up with pocket 8s. and it's not bad. We're just below average stack, and we're still only in for 1 rebuy, so I'm actually pretty proud of myself. I've played 2 tournaments and I only had to buy in 1 time. So we're gonna see how things go. Break number 1. Honestly, the very first hand was disgustingly bad. A pocket 5, flop the bottom set, and then the flush gets there. Did not end up being able to pair the board, and we chip all the way down. We lose half our stack in the first hand we play. So that stunk, and nothing really happened until level 6. So like literally I just folded for an hour and a half for like 4 or 5 levels. So let's see how it goes. I have a chance, at least better than last time. So let's see how things go. Stick to my game, play for value, and try to continue chipping up. So next spot that we will go over here, this is the spot that I'm very curious about. Just wanted to know what your thoughts are. So we're on level 7, blinds are 400, 800, 800 big blind ante, and we're sitting at about 26k. And we look down at ace-9 offsuit in the big blind, and ungun player min raises it to 1600, and 3 players call, and they're all to my right, so the small blind, button, and cutoff, and action's onto me. I really thought about like raising and 3-betting this spot and squeezing. Maybe I could even jam in this spot since there's just so much chips in the middle here. But ultimately, I ended up deciding to just call the 800. It just kind of makes sense, priced in here. Brick the flop, nothing really happened. Just curious about that spot in the big blind position with a bunch of not dead money, but money in the middle, and I could definitely apply some pressure. So just want to know what your opinions are about that. I think calling is obviously the lower variance line, but what's like the optimal line? Following hand, still in level 7, pocket deuces in the button. The player to my right open limps. And here on the button, sitting at about 22k. He, like I said, this player is sitting on about like 80k right now, very, very active, and could definitely call my jam. So I go ahead and jam on the button. I just jam over the limper. I just thought it was aggro. We're trying to chip up, see what happens. Deuces, really hate playing them. Let's just stick all the money in and see what happens. And he folds, unfortunately, so we don't get any action. Just another hand. This hand is dirty. All right, this hand's freaking disgusting. So level 6, not level 6, level 8 right now. Blinds are 500, 1k with a 1k big blind ante. And we're sitting on a 23k on the small blind here with king 6 offsuit. Folds always to the button, player right, like I said, super active. He goes ahead and open limps it. He's in super passive, playing every hand basically, and getting pretty lucky. So here with king high, let's apply some pressure on this player and see what happens. I decide to raise things up to 3,500. The button, who I was expecting to fold, does not fold. He calls. That was unfortunate. Did not see him calling that at all. But the button calls, and so does the big blind. So we are going 3 ways to a flop in a position where I did not want to be in. So the flop comes deuce 5 6 rainbow. Pretty dry and disgusting board for all of us. I would assume that none of us would really hit that flop, especially if you call my raise. But I do have an open ender, and let's just try to apply some pressure here. I go ahead and c-bet 5k, just trying to get everyone to fold. There's just no way that many ranges would hit this board, but the big blind makes the call. So we're feeling disgusting, really disgusting and horrible with the spot until the turn, which is a 3, the magical 3, brings in the full rainbow and literally a bingo, amazing gin card. I decide to actually just check in this spot. He could have a lot of ace X's in his range, and even if I do bet, I don't think I get value from a hand at all. I don't think I get any value, so I decide to check, letting him bet at it. If he does have an ace, I can just jam and then, you know, obviously just stack up here. But here he decides to just check it back reluctantly. Doesn't really like that card at all. The river comes a king, so we do have top pair, but obviously still have the straights and basically the nuts in this spot. Here, pretty short. I just go ahead and rip it all in at this point. I really don't want this river to go check, and I did miss my opportunity to bet in this spot, but not sure I could have gotten any value. He thinks for a little bit. He definitely doesn't have an ace at this point because he thinks I have the ace, and he decides to fold. He later on said that he had 4-5 and flop top 2 pair. So we are just an absolute luck box in this situation. Next spot, we are in level 11, not a whole lot of action going on. blinds are 1K, 2K, 2K big blind ante, sitting at about 36K, so pretty short. I get my first playable hand ever. I have ace queen offsuit on the gun +1, and we're also playing 7-handed. Here I have 30K in my stack now, and here I'm just gonna open jam. 15 bigs just seemed like the most optimal line at all. Just take down the blinds if need to be, and we don't need to play any flops. So we jam, they all fold, and we take down the blinds. Following hand in level 12 or 11. Level 12, blinds are 1200, 2400, 2400 big blind ante, and we're sitting still at 30K now. We have 5-7 offsuit in the big blind, and it's a 3-way limp pot. Middle position player limped, small blind completed, or yeah, small blind completed, and I just checked. So we're gonna go to a flop 3 ways, and the flop comes 10-5-3 rainbow, and we do flop middle pair. The small blind checks, and here I am going to bet my middle pair here for value, I think. Just deny some equity from a bunch of overcards, and obviously it's hard to make a pair in this spot, I think. So I lead for 4,500, and the limper doesn't think too long before jamming it all in. I don't know what this was about. He was pretty short. He covered me though, so not as short as I am. And I don't know what to do. Like I just fold. I'm forced to fold, but it's such a gross spot. I thought 4,500 was a decent sizing. Yeah, I don't know. This is really gross with middle pair. I feel like I have to bet that, especially when I connect with the board, and we couldn't do anything with it. Walking out in the parking garage means we busted. Bustos City. Yeah, that was tough. So the hand that busted me out, I guess we'll just go over that. I looked down at King Jack suited in the small blind. It was probably like 2 hands after that stupid 5-7 hand that I felt like I had to bet my middle pair there. But anyways, King Jack suited in the small blind, and a early position player ends up open jamming about 80K. Blinds are 12, 24, 24, and I have 30K in my stack. Less than that actually, I have 20. I have like 20 something K in my stack. So I have like 8 bigs, 7 bigs, folds all the way back to me. King Jack suited is maybe a fold, maybe because I'm in the small blind and I have a whole orbit of hands to look down at, but literally like the best hand I've seen all day. So King Jack, I just go ahead and call, and the big blind tanks, and he ends up making the call as well a little bit for less. He has pocket 7s. So big blind with pocket 7s, the early position player limper, or early position jammer with ace king offsuit. So we are looking in pretty horrendous shape. The flop comes king high, and he improves the ace king with a turn being an ace, and we lose and we're out. So just a bunch of tournament spots that I'm more or less not really too familiar with. Just a bunch of things like, do I jam? Do I open jam ace 9 suited with like 20 big blinds and there were like 5 limpers or something like that? Do I jam ace 9 suited with 15 or 20 big blinds under the gun? That seems like a bad idea, but there's just a lot of things that just didn't go my way. I played a long time. It's 11 o'clock, 11 hours of poker, and it was pretty bloody, I'll be honest. It was pretty freaking bloody, considering I lost the first tournament, then I lost in cash, and then I busted out of this one. We busted 33rd out of 93 or whatever it was, so there was like 12K in the pot. Top 12 got paid, busted 33rd. Like, yeah, whatever. We had to pick a spot in King Jack. I literally just couldn't get a hand. I swear to God, I literally sat there for 4 hours and I got like 4 or 5 maybe good hands, not even. So just cards didn't come my way. Wasn't my day, and we're signing off. So thank you guys for watching. Tournaments, maybe I'll just maybe I'll fuck around with it. I don't know. We gotta figure my shit out right now, because I need to start winning something, because I'm having another down month in cash. Not super down, like $100 down, but that's still negative, and I don't really want that to happen. And yeah, and obviously we're losing in tournament too, so today kind of stunk. But be on the lookout for the next video. Thanks you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.